Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about antiplatelet drugs. Antiplatelet drugs are the drugs which are used to inhibit or prevent platelet aggregation. The drugs are called antiplatelet drugs. Classification of antiplatelet drugs. It includes COX-1 inhibitors. The drugs included in the COX-1 inhibitors are aspirin. Phosphodiesterase inhibitors in the drugs include dipyridamole, adenosine receptor antagonist, glycoprotein 2B3A receptor antagonist and thromboxane A2 receptors. And that first one is COX-1 inhibitor. The drug involved in COX-1 inhibitors are aspirin. Next is phosphodiesterase inhibitor. The drugs include in this is dipyridamole. Next is adenosine receptor antagonist. In the drugs involved are ticlopidine and clopidogrel. Next, glycoprotein 2B3A receptor antagonist. Here is receptors. These two are receptors antagonist. The drugs which are used in this is ebiximab, eptifibat and thyrofabin. Next, thromboxane A2 receptors. That is nothing but tiotrobin. Coming to mechanism of action of COX-1 inhibitors. The drug included in this is aspirin, which is best example for the headache tablet. In this, membrane phospholipids converted into arachidonic acid in the presence of COX. Cyclooxygenase enzyme. It is converted into prostaglandin H2. PGH2 is nothing but prostaglandin H2 and then into the thromboxane A2, and this thromboxane A2 binds to the thromboxane A2 receptor that causes platelet aggregation. But our aim is to decrease the platelet aggregation or inhibit the platelet aggregation. But these mechanism are increasing the platelet aggregation. We are gonna inhibit the COX. We are going to inhibit the COX enzyme so that from the membrane phospholipids there is a binding of arachidonic acid. Here, inhibition of COX, there is no conversion of arachidonic acid to prostaglandin H2, so that prostaglandin H2 levels will decrease as well as thromboxane A2 will decrease, and there is no binding of thromboxane A2, so it leads to inhibition of platelet aggregation. This is the mechanism of action. Clear understanding of mechanism of action is these are platelets. Here is prostaglandin I2 binds to the membrane and activates the adenyl cyclase. And activating the adenyl cyclase, in the presence of adenyl cyclase, ATP is converted into cyclic AMP. And in the presence of phosphodiesterase enzyme, it is converting into the AMP, adenosine monophosphate. And here what happened is ADP is binding to the platelet in the presence of ADP receptors. Here is thromboxane A2. Thromboxane A2 receptors are present and there is a binding of thromboxane A2. It is releasing some collagens. Here is exposed collagen is present, and from this arachidonic acid is released. Arachidonic acid releases the prostaglandin A2 and prostaglandin A2 releases thromboxane A2 and released into the blood. This arachidonic acid also activates the G protein coupled receptor mechanism and releasing the inositol triphosphate as well as diacylglycerol. This G protein couple receptor releases some of the collagens and releases the thromboxane. Here what happened is, we are going to see the COX mechanism. So COX is inhibiting here. COX, cyclooxygenase enzyme, inhibiting the conversion of arachidonic acid into the prostaglandin A2 and then into the thromboxane A2. These all mechanism will inhibited by the COX inhibitors. Next, first one is COX. Second one is phosphodiesterase inhibitor. Here only the mechanism appears. That means here is the phosphodiesterase enzyme. What the phosphodiesterase drugs will do means inhibit the phosphodiesterase enzyme, so that no conversion of cyclic AMP into the AMP. So here what happened, there is a increase in levels of cyclic AMP and releases the more amount of collagens and leads to decrease in platelet aggregation. That is phosphodiesterase enzyme inhibitors. Next, third classification is adenosine receptor antagonist. Adenosine receptor antagonist. Here what happened, adenosine phosphate receptors is binding to the platelets. Here binding of adenosine to the receptor will inhibited by these drugs, so that no binding of this receptor, there is a decrease in levels of ADP in the blood, so that decrease in levels of platelet aggregation. Next, fourth mechanism is thromboxane A2 receptor antagonist. Here what happened, this is the thromboxane A2 receptors. It binds to the receptors. Here is thromboxane A2. Thromboxane A2 binds to the thromboxane A2 receptors, so that no binding of, here we are going to administer the thromboxane A2 receptor drugs, so that there is no binding of thromboxane A2, there is decrease in levels of thromboxane A2, so leads to inhibit the platelet aggregation. These are the mechanism of action of this classification. Next, coming to mechanism of action, already we have discussed, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme inhibits the COX. That means conversion of arachidonic acid into prostaglandin A2, so that there is a decrease in levels of thromboxane A2. This is thromboxane A2 receptor. Therefore it decreases the platelet aggregation. Next, coming to adverse effects or adverse drug reactions is gastrointestinal bleeding or GI bleeding. The most common adverse effect of aspirin is GI bleeding, salicinism, bronchospasm, thrombocytopenia. Thrombocytopenia means loss of blood or bleeding. By using more amount of aspirin, more than required, then it causes gastrointestinal bleeding, salicinism, bronchospasm and thrombocytopenia. Next, coming to drug interactions. While we are administering the aspirin along with acetazolamide, it causes tinnitus, dizziness and drowsiness. All we know about tinnitus, that means ringing sound in the ear. What happened in the case of tinnitus means ringing sound in the ear. Next is dizziness and drowsiness. Uses. Use it to treat antipyretic, analgesic and anti-inflammatory. Use it to treat myocardial infarction and angina pectoris. Next, second one is phosphodiesterase inhibitor. Already we have discussed. There is a conversion of ATP into cyclic AMP in the presence of adenyl cyclase, and AMP conversion in the presence of phosphodiesterase inhibitor, it forms AMP. Here these drugs, what happened is inhibition of the phosphodiesterase enzyme. So these drugs are inhibiting the phosphodiesterase enzyme, no conversion of cyclic AMP to AMP. There is a decrease in platelet aggregation. That means it is stopping one of the mechanism, so that it is causing the decreased platelet aggregation. That what is here. This drug inhibited phosphodiesterase enzyme, so that no conversion of cyclic AMP to AMP. There is an increase in cyclic AMP. Here no conversion means what happened? Increases the cyclic AMP levels, and decreases the ADP release and decreases the AMP or ADP release and serotonin release. Here what happened? There is a decreased levels of ADP or serotonin levels and leads to decreased platelet aggregation. And leads to decrease in platelet aggregation. This is the mechanism of action of phosphodiesterase inhibitors. Next, coming to adverse drug reactions. Adverse drug reactions are similar to the COX inhibitors, that is GI bleeding, nausea, vomiting, headache, diarrhea and thrombocytopenia. Already we have discussed about the thrombocytopenia, that is nothing but a blood loss. Thrombocytopenia is nothing but a blood loss or bleeding, more bleeding leads to thrombocytopenia. Next, coming to drug interactions. Dipyridamole, it is one of the drug which is involved in phosphodiesterase enzyme inhibitor. While we are administering this drug along with dalteparin, it causes severe bleeding, so that does not administer these two drugs. Next, coming to uses. Use it to treat asthma, myocardial infarction and angina. Next, third class is adenosine receptor antagonist. Drugs involved is clopidogrel. Adenosine receptor antagonist mechanism of action is, it is blocking the ADP to these drugs blocks the conversion of ADP into cyclic AMP, so that there is a decrease in levels of cyclic AMP, so no platelet aggregation. This is the mechanism of action of adenosine receptor antagonist. Adverse drug reactions are similar to the COX as well as phosphodiesterase inhibitors, that is GI bleeding, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, drowsiness, diarrhea and thrombocytopenia. Next, coming to drug interactions. Adenosine receptor antagonist along with alteplase drug. While administering these two drugs, it causes salcerism or severe bleeding, that means thrombocytopenia. We are going to write as a thrombocytopenia also, because it is also severe loss of blood. Uses. Use it to treat myocardial infarction as well as angina. Next, coming to glycoprotein 3A, 2B3A antagonist. How it is acting means, here is one platelet, here is another platelet, here there is a binding of fibrinogen, here is fibrinogens are present, here how it is inhibiting the platelet aggregation. We are going to see one platelet and another platelet, there is a binding of fibrin. Normal mechanism of action is, it is promoting the fibrin into the platelet and increases the platelet aggregation. But our aim is to decrease the platelet aggregation, so that we are going to administer the glycoprotein. GP means glycoprotein 2B or 3A drugs, antagonist drugs, which are antagonist. That means there is a decreased fibrinogen levels and no platelet aggregation. Fibrinogen blocks the platelet aggregation. Okay, next, coming to adverse drug reactions. Adverse drug reactions are GI bleeding, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, drowsiness and thrombocytopenia. Same adverse drug reactions involved in COX, phosphodiesterase as well as glycoprotein. Drug interactions include are glycoprotein 2B3A antagonist along with aspirin. It causes severe bleeding, so that does not administer the glycoproteins along with aspirin. Uses include use it to treat angina as well as use it to treat myocardial infarction. Next, last class is nothing but thromboxane A2 receptor antagonist. Here what happened? Thromboxane A2 receptors. Thromboxane A2 binds to the thromboxane A2 receptors to increase the platelet aggregation. This is normal mechanism, but our aim is to decrease the platelet aggregation. So we are going to administer the thromboxane A2 receptors, blockers, so that these drugs come and binds to the thromboxane. While administering the drugs, these drugs come to bind to the thromboxane A2, so that there is a decreased binding of thromboxane A2 into the thromboxane A2 receptors, so that there is a decrease in platelet aggregation. Here mechanism of action is these drugs blocks the thromboxane A2 receptor binding to the thromboxane A2. Thus they inhibit the or prevent the platelet aggregation. This is the mechanism of action of thromboxane A2. Adverse drug reactions include gastrointestinal bleeding, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, drowsiness and thrombocytopenia. Next, coming to drug interactions. While we are administering the thromboxane A2 receptor inhibitors, these drugs along with dipyridamole. Dipyridamole is one of the drug which are included in this topic only, that is phosphodiesterase inhibitor. While we are administering the thromboxane A2 receptors along with phosphodiesterase inhibitors, any of the phosphodiesterase inhibitor, it causes severe bleeding, that means loss of blood. It leads to thrombocytopenia. Uses it to treat myocardial infarction as well as use it to treat angina. Here, while we are observing these antiplatelet drugs, same adverse drug reactions for every drug, that is COX inhibitor, phosphodiesterase, glycoprotein 2B3A, adenosine receptors and thromboxane A2 receptors. Same adverse drug reactions for every drug as well as same drug interaction. But the drug is different. While we are administering the particular classification of drug along with other drugs, it causes severe bleeding. So does not administer with the two antagonist drugs. Uses are, every use is to treat myocardial infarction. In case of surgeries, while we are losing the blood, it leads to severe damage, so that it is used to treat myocardial infarction as well as angina. Thank you.